Welcome to No Instructions. I'm Bob.
And I'm Anthony.
I'm Josh.
Hey, I'm Forby.
Hey, we're all here.
What's up?
If you're watching on YouTube, on the No Instructions YouTube channel, you can see all four of us. And we just barely fit in the frame.
Had to back the camera up this time.
I'm kind of barely in there.
How much
No,
camera
I'm
do
good.
you need?
I'm good. I don't need that much room. Although once I get this giant treehouse done, I have a feeling once I get to the point to where I'm actually building the tree part, the camera will not be able to see me. Because I think it's going to be right here in front of my face, which will be cool. So we went to Walmart today. You guys got some sets?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What'd you get, Anthony?
I got the night bus from Harry Potter and Prisoner of Azkaban.
The night bus.
Yes. So this is a slightly easier set than last time. I had a Lego Technics set last time.
Oh, yeah.
And I barely got done with the first section. So my goal is to get significantly further this time. I'm excited.
Cool.
Yeah.
What are you working on,
Are those
Josh?
all the pieces?
No, this is just the first bag.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to save space.
That's smart.
Yeah.
3 bags.
I am working on the Lego BB-8 that you bought me. It's real big.
I'll hold up the box for you.
Yeah, I got my hands full.
I think you're going to like this one.
Oh, that's going to be cool.
Yeah, I'm excited
The
for that
thing
too.
that's deceptively cool about this one is that all the stuff on the inside, not all of it works, but I mean, like, see, you have this sphere. It's not really a sphere. But 3 of the 4 panels, I think, open up, and then the head is jointed down through the entire body.
The wiggles?
Yeah, so it wiggles when
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
That's super cool.
It's good stuff. What you got, Forby?
I have the Bastion.
Long arms is what you
I
have.
have long arms. The Bastion
Those are tiny.
character from Overwatch, which I'm really excited about. I think he's a pretty cool design. I'm a fan of the game and all the characters in there, and it looks like a really cool build. And they just released a skin in the game that's actually Legos. It's not
really?
It's not the same color. It's actually like the primary red, blue, yellow. I think white maybe, but it's been on my mind. So
I have no experience with Overwatch.
Yeah, me
I actually
neither.
have that same set that my kids got me just because it was a robot.
yeah,
But-
it's a fun game. I mean,
Yeah.
it has an extreme amount of polish, I think, for which a lot of Blizzard games are kind of known for. But for as long as I've been playing it, I find it's just a fun one to just jump into and kind of play some games. And I mean, it's just visually, it's very impressive and also kind of just, I think, easy to get used to, maybe compared to some of the other games. But I think maybe it's difficult to really give it. To compare it with some things after you played it for so long and you're just so used to it. But
It's been out for like a very long time now.
yeah,
I mean,
think
in the scheme of like video games,
sure, yeah.
which I guess they last longer these days than they did. That's a brick separator.
Oh,
So you don't have to bite the pieces.
Even I knew that.
oh. What if you like biting the pieces?
Then carry on.
Go for it.
All right.
Yeah, it was like one of those games that was out for a long time and I never played it, and then finally I was like, maybe I should just, like all the kids are talking about Overwatch, maybe I should just give it a shot. And then I downloaded it, and I don't even think I ever opened it. Because it was one of those like, well, I'm probably going to be obviously years behind in playing this, and so I'll be worse at this one relative to everybody else than I'm normally at games, because they're all going to be really good. Is it that kind of a thing where everybody has now been playing it so long that everybody's so advanced that you couldn't jump in? Or could you still jump in?
I don't find that to be the case because I run into that on other games where, like, some guys that I usually play with we've played Apex Legends, which is kind of a new one, and it's all just sort of free for all. It's team based, at least it was at the beginning, but that had a sort of a quick sort of rise of the general level of play to where I die really quickly all the time. But I find Overwatch to be a little bit more forgiving. I mean, there's respawning, and you can just kind of like play through a game. You may lose like in the objective, but I don't find it to be as brutal as the kind of, one death, you're out, you wait for the rest of your team to maybe revive you, maybe not kind of thing in Apex Legends, or there's a lot of other games, a lot of other play styles, but I've found it to be a really fun, just semi-casual, but also you can get to the point where you feel pretty skilled at it. But I don't think that it really that it's really that bad if you're bad at it. And there's fun little arcade modes too that are just sort of fun to jump in, and they're weird. They have low gravity or mystery heroes where every time you spawn you're a different person, so it just like it keeps everybody guessing and stuff. And I think it's fun.
I may have to try it. I never get into games. It's been a long time since I've like played a game a whole lot to where I'm good at it. I mean, you and I sat down last night and played Dr. Mario for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And that's one that I felt pretty rusty.
But that game is near and dear to both your hearts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just used to it.
Yep.
So you just jump right back in.
But as far as the new games, like it's just hard. Like Battlefront 2, I bought it because it was Star Wars and because it looked awesome. And when you play through the story part, that's forgiving enough that you can put it to easy, or you can just play the same thing 1,000 times and finally get through it. But as soon as you jump into multiplayer, as soon as I jump into the multiplayer, I get wiped out and frustrated.
Yeah, you and I played that. I remember when you first got it, and I was not that impressed.
Yeah,
I really wanted to be.
It's fun, but I was excited when they announced the next EA Star Wars game is only a story game. So I don't think there's a multiplayer part to it at all. Which, whatever, there's different types of gameplay, but I went ahead and pre-ordered it just because I'm excited about there being a story-driven Star Wars game. That's cool.
And it's all canon?
Yeah. Everything's canon now, which is pretty wild. I just finished a bag. Look at that.
Oh, that's
Isn't that
fancy.
Already?
time? Yeah, it was like tiny, but
That's still really cool looking though.
I don't know what this is gonna do. I guess this is the inside trunk of the tree.
It's the holy hand grenade.
Really fits down there. Speaking of holy hand grenade,
Yeah,
We're going to do that right off the bat?
I don't know.
sure.
We don't have to.
Well, speaking of the holy hand grenade, I'll introduce it and we'll talk about it after. We'll talk about Maker Faire. So we had, there's a company called the Prop Store
I'm gonna dump a bag.
in the UK. I'll wait patiently.
Okay.
And we're making the holy hand grenade. Just kidding.
All right, I got one more mini
All right.
bag.
Well, from the looks of it, the holy hand grenade isn't all that difficult to make.
No,
It actually didn't look that impressive.
Yeah, it looked like a spare coconut that they didn't rip in half to make the horse sound.
For those of you who don't know what the holy hand grenade is, it's one of the, well, it's in Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yeah,
It's one
You
of the
guys like
pivotal
that
moments.
movie?
I did not.
I love that movie.
I did maybe the first couple times I saw it. But then it became like a
You're not a
fall
cult
asleep
follower?
instantly
Yeah.
thing. I mean, I was exposed to it kind of late high school maybe, and it was just at the right time where me and my friends we thought it was hilarious, and we watched it a couple times, maybe late high school, early college. But then it was like, oh, we got to watch that thing that we think is so hilarious, and then just fall asleep. Because it's older, it's different pacing than I think a lot of the movies that we're used to, and then the jokes, when you know what's coming up immediately, it loses that.
Yeah.
We just watch it too much, too fast.
And I've got a ton of movies like that I still think are awesome that nobody else likes. So I totally get that. But that's one that I can't make it through. It's
Tiff hates that movie. I watched it before I was in college, but we watched it together. And I started falling asleep. And I'm like, I'm kind of done. I'm going to go to bed. She's like, we got to finish this movie. I'm like, you really don't need to finish this movie. She's like, well, no, I want to watch it. You really like it, so I want to watch it. And I'm like, okay, I'm letting you know right now, you're going to be upset. So, have fun. And she was.
Well, I really like that movie.
I like it too.
Yeah.
good for you.
Yeah, but the Holy Hand Grenade, speaking of that, so the prop
I didn't mean
store...
that as condescending as it sounded.
No, you're good.
The prop
Give me a
store
hard time.
is what it sounds like. It has a bunch of movie props from all the different properties, and they auction it off. So the last 2 days, they've had this mega huge sale with very important, very iconic pieces of movie and pop culture that they're auctioning off. And I am going to say a prop, and I want to see who gets the closest to the actual auction price, the sale price.
And these are in pounds, correct?
These are in pounds. I can do the conversion. I looked it up. It's $1.22 to a pound. So add like $1.25.
Yeah.
So, but first off, we want to talk about Maker Faire. That's why Forby's here.
Oh, yeah.
Forby's here hanging out, and we just had the Louisville Maker Faire. The big ones, as of right now, are no more. So the people at First Build, this makerspace in Louisville, took up the mantle and decided to organize a Louisville, Kentucky kind of area centric Faire, and I thought they did a spectacular job.
They really
me
did.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I'm really glad they did it.
It
Yeah.
was a lot bigger. So last year, I think we've talked about this, but the one last year was
It was like a high school like fall festival kind of thing. I thought it was very, very small. It didn't seem like there was a lot of effort to market it very well, and I was kind of unimpressed.
well, and that kind of goes to like what the thing is. It's hard for someone who's not really passionate about it to market it. You know, I mean, Maker Faire is like you have to want to tell people about a Maker
Yeah.
Faire, otherwise you don't know how. And so I could see if somebody just kind of came in last minute and was like, "Oh yeah, we should do one. I'll handle it." You know, they wouldn't actually know how to get people there. I was telling somebody that last year was kind of like somebody went into a parking lot and thought about Maker Faire. That's what it was like.
Huh.
And it wasn't actually a fair. But this year, First Build, this group took it over, and it was like a real Maker Faire. You know, it was bigger. It had stages. It had demos. It had bands. There were food trucks.
Yeah, Jimmy DiResta.
It had Jimmy DiResta on a giant bandsaw.
Yep.
It was
Had
good.
all of us on no bandsaw. Well, they asked us for like planning help, and I got to go up during one of the planning meetings, and consequently Jimmy was up there too. So the two of us kind of gave them insight into like the YouTube makey kind of world. And I think the most important part of the success for this was the people at First Build just generally love the idea of people making things, but they were all about saying yes. Because I was like, what about beekeepers? They're like, that's an awesome idea. Or what about glass blowing, or people that sew, or it was a yes and conversation that entire time. I was like, do you know literally anybody who's excited about what they do as a craft? Tell them to come here and get a booth. So I don't know if that was just out of like pure desperation because they wanted to fill in this really big venue that they got, or if it was just the general excitement of people from cross disciplines sharing their love of stuff. But I think either way it came across.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what the whole thing's supposed to be. I think over time the fairs have become more focused on 3D printers and, you know, like high school groups, and some people do some like yarn stuff. But it ends up being a lot of the things that are easy to get there, easy to manage while you're there, and easy to take away. And so when you have like a blacksmith group, that's a big undertaking to get there, to handle it, and to take it away. And so they were probably looking at, you know, how do we take down the barriers so that we get those type of people, so we have a varied interest pool, so that will reach more people who come to check stuff out. You know, because I mean, only so many people are interested in 3D printers, but you got beekeepers and, you know, ceramicists and all that type of
blowers.
stuff.
They had ice
That'll hit for
sculptors.
somebody.
Like, I know one thing that I had talked to the guy Bo, who was running the meeting, was like, because there is no New York and Los Angeles, like right now the make name still has a little bit of clout, but this was the opportunity to make it about Louisville and to make it about the area and the people around here that do amazing things. And so they have a lot of glass blowers around. So they had a glass blowing demonstration. They had people that were doing metal casting. They had one thing my oldest son absolutely loved, and I was surprised to see, was a guy doing like live comic book sketches. So he was a comic book artist. And apparently there's a huge Louisville like comic book scene. I got a compilation book of like, it was like 15 or 20 different comic book artists in this one book. And my son's eyes lit up, and like it was one of those super proud dad moments. I'm like, this is affecting him. This is something that he's interested in. Here is a person who is legitimately doing it, and it's someone that he can look to for inspiration. He walked away happy.
Good.
They did a really good job of making that an all ages event too, like family friendly.
Sure.
I felt like it was more so than even when we went to Bay Area. As far as like having things for the kids to do as well as the adults to enjoy. I thought that was really cool. My daughter's not quite at that age yet to enjoy that kind of stuff, but hopefully it keeps going to where she'll get to experience that.
Well, and it was hot. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, for kids
Oh, yeah.
in general, it's surprising that any of them lasted any amount of time, because it was very, very hot,
mine
which,
didn't
you know,
last
nobody
very
can
long.
control. But
Well, my daughter, I mean, she's the destroyer of worlds. And so she went around to this place and just wanted to like pick stuff up and grab it and throw it and mess with it. And I'm like, oh, no, don't do that. And every person was like, no, that's completely cool. Does she want to play the ukulele? Here's a ukulele. Like, let her play that. Here's a drum kit. And here's these like synthesized like automated kind of guitars, and not like a real guitar, the ones that have like the buttons and stuff. And like everybody there wanted her to pick up and play with and mess with and possibly break everything that they had. And there was the level 1 makerspace that had one of the end caps, and they had a bunch of rotary phones all set up, and so the kids were just like dumbfounded at what the heck this piece of like Jurassic style technology was. And they had it rigged so that if you picked up one of the rotary phones and you played with it, someone else on the other side of the tables could pick it up, and it was kind of like a two-way communication, just
Like phones
direct. Yeah, but you're not dialing
Yeah, I know
anybody
what you
out. You're picking up a phone, they're picking up a phone. And my son thought it was so cool. He's like, I dialed mom's number because I showed him how to one, 5. And I was like, yeah, that was a telephone. I'm like, whoa.
Way back in the day.
Yeah, and
Pretty funny.
they had a huge, operation game?
Oh,
They
yeah.
had like real forceps that were rigged up with like foil tape around the openings to pick up little 3D printed things.
It was Alien Operation.
Yeah. There was so much stuff there for my kids to enjoy, even though it was crazy hot. They were welcomed by every little group, and they spoke directly to my kids, and it was awesome.
Yeah. It was a good event. I'm glad they did it. I'm glad we got to be part of it. So the 4 of us did a talk, which was really just us kind of answering questions. We had a really good turnout.
Yeah,
For the size of the event, I was really, humbled by the fact that we had that many people show up, and that was really cool. After that, Jimmy and I did kind of the same kind of thing. And Dale Daughtery, I think that's how you say his last name. Daughtery? The guy that started Make. Dale.
Dale
Good old
Daughtry
Dale.
is from King of the Hill.
And he was there. And that was really cool. We've met him before. I've met him before. I don't know if you guys ever had. But just the fact that he was at that fair, I thought was really odd. And then I realized after talking to him that he actually grew up in Louisville, which I didn't know. But it was a good excuse for him to come to that fair and also come see family and stuff. So that was pretty neat to get to talk to him. He had a really good response to that fair. And, obviously he started them, so he's been to all the big ones, lots and lots and lots of the smaller ones. And he had a good response to that one and had some really nice things to say about us and about like the YouTube maker community and stuff in general. So, and if anybody's curious, Make as a company is on its way back. So the magazine is coming back in apparently a different format, like a smaller physical format. And it's quarterly again, like it was when it first got started. But it's coming back. They have new videos going up on the YouTube channel. I haven't heard anything about the fairs, the big flagship fairs, but Make is not gone, and that's really cool. So there's that.
Yeah, it was really encouraging to see him there
Yeah.
walking around.
Yeah. You guys got anything else on Maker Faire? What was your favorite thing, like a exhibitor type thing that you saw?
I really liked there was a little booth that had little Lego sets or Lego packages that you could buy that add blinking lights like in the middle of your existing set. So it was like a little battery pack with a 9-volt battery goes in that, and then 2 little leads, and then a set of 10 kind of like 1x6s and 1x8s, and then you could snake those all the way through and then connect little LED bricks, and then wherever those match up with the 2 leads, and you can break them off wherever you want in your thing. You could have blinking lights or colored lights or on-off lights or whatever. And then they also had a set of Duplos where you could add switches and lights and triggers and things, but that it integrates with your existing Lego set. And I thought that was really neat. And then the kids that ended up coming by later on when your kids went by, they really liked it too. I just thought it was really neat to see. There was a lot of great stuff, but I had never seen that before.
Yeah, we ended up getting we got one of the Duplo sets just because it had a little flying thing on it, and one of my kids wanted that. And then we got one of the kind of just brick sets that you're talking about to add to an existing thing. And we got home, and they were all excited about trying them out, and they were like, okay, we need a 9-volt. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
That's the one we don't keep in stock. So we have to somehow find a 9-volt.
I feel like we were looking for one of those around here the other day.
Yeah, it's not something we keep.
It's
for some
always the
reason.
battery that you need.
I never have.
Never ever have 9 volts.
Smoke detector starts beeping.
I played in the band at church, and like everybody's guitars or mic packs usually take a 9 volt.
Yep.
And then you're like, anybody got a battery? And everybody looks around. None. Like, out of anything, like a church should have like industrial supply of 9-volt batteries in the back.
Well, it's kind of weird because, like, you know, a long time ago, rechargeable batteries were expensive. They didn't last that long. They didn't have a long lifetime, so they weren't really worth it. Now they're totally worth it, and they're pretty much the same cost or cheaper than regular batteries. So it seems like we should always have the batteries that we need on a charger, because we have a lot of rechargeable batteries here. That's just one that we never got for some reason.
I think my favorite was the home brewers.
Oh yeah, you were there for a while.
Yeah. So there's people that brew their own beer at home with like brewing kits. They got a big like turkey fryer and then these big glass jugs and things. And this one company, the name escapes me now, and I'm sorry. They have different recipes, and they crowdsource their recipes. So they have like a brick and mortar store in Louisville, and they do it online. Every once in a while, they have like gatherings, and they'll take a recipe that they have that has this much wheat and honey or all these different types of ingredients, and they give them out to people, and then they'll come back and they'll go like, oh, I added this to this recipe, and then everybody will try it, and like, oh, that's awesome. And so the ones that they have available that you can purchase have been vetted by a bunch of different local home brewers. And they actually commissioned a beer for the Louisville Maker Faire this year that you could get from I think it was the Mile Long or Mile High or something like that brewery that's around here. And I went to go get one. It's in like a tall boy can with like no logo on it. So I just got to walk around with like this silver can with this beer that was made specifically for that Maker Faire.
Nice.
I thought that was really awesome. It's something I've been intrigued with for quite some time, especially when we were in the RV. There was someone that I met along our journey that was a home brewer, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I want to do that. But I didn't really have a home.
Yeah, that seems like a bad place to start doing a hobby like that.
Yep. Let's take this 5-gallon bucket that's supposed to sit really still in a temperature-controlled environment, slosh it all around in the RV while we're driving down the interstate.
This, like, rolling fermentation tank that just, like, gets bumped wrong and explodes inside.
We get pulled over, and it looks like a meth tank. There's a lot of downsides I'm imagining to that setup. But now that we've got a house and we've got a basement and we've got a secret office, that can be a secret fermentation layer.
Yeah.
Ooh. Take that, Prohibition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really get to walk around a whole lot. I mean, we did our talks and then we ate some food, and I kind of walked down one aisle and saw there was a Vex Robotics team, local high school team. Got to talk to them for a few minutes. And then went and saw Jimmy at his bandsaw, and he cut out letters for all the kids, my kids, for their names.
That's cool.
Which was kind of funny, but kind of cool. And the only other thing I really saw was, two things. One was a girl who actually wasn't there. Her mom was running her booth for her. But she was an artist, and she was drawing these characters. And I don't know if these were her own characters or they were from a thing, but she's 16. Her mom was very talkative. She's 16 and started drawing these characters and then started putting them online and got this big, like, fan following. And so now she sells prints and sells commission work, and then she started making, like costume heads of the characters. So these,
yeah, I did see that.
Big kind of stuffed animal heads that you could wear. And so she was making those, and she was getting commissioned to make, these costumes and stuff. And it was interesting talking to her. Just hearing, and it wasn't even talking to the girl, it was talking to her mom, who kind of understood what she did and kind of understood all the stuff, but didn't really, and was kind of, she'd say something like she was really proud, and then she'd kind of roll her eyes. She's like, I don't really know what this thing is, but I don't know. She's like putting stuff on YouTube, but I don't really know where, Anyway, it was kind of cool just to see that this girl had started doing art and was now getting, was creating her own thing and was trying to figure out what to do with it. But at the same time, they're asking her to come on the news and talk about what she does and stuff. And she's like,
oh, wow.
I have a physics test. I can't I can't come on the news. Like, I'm in high school. I don't drive, So that was kind of cool. But there was also a woman, and I can't remember her name. Jimmy told me yesterday because we talked about her on making it. She went by the Cast Iron Gypsy, and she does cast iron art. And so she had a whole table of cast iron pieces. And it's funny because I always thought cast iron was this really, really difficult. You have to have a lot of infrastructure, and it's not something you could just do for like little pieces. I was totally wrong because she had a table full of things that she had made, like jewelry and utensils and just little art things, stuff to set on tables, and then bigger pieces as well. But she ended up telling me about this kind of cast iron art community that exists. And it's not just, she's not from Louisville, but it's in the entire region. And she has all these connections with people in different places that all do this type of art. And they get together and they'll like all melt a whole bunch of stuff at the same time. And you make these molds, and the molds are one-time use. Like you pour the thing, and then I guess the iron is so hot it destroys the mold.
That makes sense.
But then you end up with the final piece, and it was really cool.
Get
but
it right
was,
the first time.
Yeah, it was just I don't know. It was an interesting thing that I didn't think I would run into. So,
Yeah.
But there was a whole lot of other stuff there that I didn't even get to walk by. So sorry to those people that I didn't get to see your stuff.
I think their crowning achievement was their gigantic, like 20-foot tall appliance robot. That first build is owned by GE, and I guess they came up with the idea to take old GE appliances, or not even old, but like spare or broken or whatever GE appliances, and assemble them together. This one designer that I met while at first build had a bunch of like concept art. He went to SCAD also, and he was very...
I talked with him for a
That
while.
guy.
Yeah.
And,
Chen.
yeah, and he came up to me during the planning meeting, and Jamie and I were talking. He was like, which one of these things do you think is cool, and which one do we think that we should make? And I was like, dude, all of them were neat. This big tall robot with like TV screen heads, and some of them had a little spear, and I think one had like a sword or something. I'm like, cool. I'm like, where's the fire? He's like, I don't know what you mean. I'm like, well, this is Maker Faire. Something has to shoot fire. Like, if you want to get on the news or you want to be in the pictures, I was like, you better make something to shoot fire. And he kind of made a face, and I'm like, that little stick, whatever pole, whatever this thingy is, you can rig that up. And luckily they took that to heart, and they made it not only shoot fire, but the TV screen head had a live feed from a webcam on a computer, so you could stand in front of it with a microphone, and it had like a voice modulator that would change your voice to a robot voice, put your face on the top of the robot, and you could hit the button and make the big spear thing shoot fire. So my kids were super excited about that.
Yeah, that was,
That was a
neat.
nice touch.
I never got to
Good
see
idea.
the screen thing work. I don't know if maybe
It
was just
worked
too
on
bright and I didn't see
Saturday.
it, or I don't know.
It was pretty hot, I think. It was overheating the laptop. But
Oh, yeah.
It's also pretty bright, kind of hard to see.
yeah. I saw the mayor of Louisville was there, and he was giving a talk. And then the second day, the president of the University of Louisville, where the Maker Faire was held, was there, like playing around with her voice modulation on the robot.
Oh, yeah.
So they got a lot of people to buy in. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
They're cool. It was definitely a community-driven event, spearheaded by the guys at First Build, and I think they did a really fantastic job.
Yeah, I was a big fan of the demonstrations they were doing with the glass blowing and the blacksmithing. Kinsey and I just finished watching not too long ago that glass blowing show on Netflix called Blown Away. And it's like a competition show set up, similar to like Great British Baking Show or Making It or whatever. But they're making glass art, and it was super cool to kind of see that up close and in person. Because I don't know, glass blowing is just super intriguing, and it's one of those things where you have to have a very artistic mind, but also know how to work fast. And I don't know how to do that because, one false move and you can shatter this thing you've been working on for hours and hours and hours on end. But it was just cool to see that up close and watch how good they were at presenting it to the crowd. And that was even more impressive to me is how these people were not only focusing on this incredibly hot piece of molten glass or metal and also talking to a crowd of people surrounding them at the same time in 97-degree heat.
Yeah, so hot.
It was really fun to watch.
Well, you can take the glass blowing classes at one of those places because my wife was going to get me that for my birthday. And they were like, oh, it's in July? They're like, yeah, we don't really do classes for outsiders in July because it's...
You'll die.
You'll get heat stroke,
Yeah, they were talking about
fall in the oven. You don't want that.
They were talking about like if your body's able to get conditioned to being around that heat, because those people weren't able to wear shorts and t-shirts outside around those forges. So it was cool. I really liked it.
It was good. Hopefully, it was free, and so it obviously didn't make them money. It cost them a significant amount of money, I'm sure, but hopefully there was enough whatever return they were looking for to be able to justify doing it again. But I don't know.
We will see.
We will see. But hopefully, fairs like that, local fairs everywhere will continue to happen because I think they were really good for local communities. It's just hard when there's not like a big somebody to look up to, as an example for how to run the thing like that. And I don't know that the big ones were ever, if there was enough trickle down of like process to make the smaller
like
ones.
the management of the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much like you're just licensing the name and the assets, but it'd be nice if there were a big, really successful fair. If those come back, and maybe they send down some knowledge to the smaller fairs to help them grow a little more and make the entire thing, more beneficial to everybody. But we'll see. You want to do the prop thingy?
Yeah.
Prop thingy.
Let's do the prop thingy.
The prop thingy.
Hold on, where's this piece?
I don't know.
Hold on, I gotta find this piece real quick.
No, he's got to find the piece. Well, while you're doing that, I did see, because we're all Stranger Things fans. They announced season 4, Stranger Things.
Oh yeah.
It was very upside downy. I'm happy about that.
Upside downy.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of the upside down in the last 2 seasons.
I've never heard the term upside downy.
Yeah, well, there you go. So I'm excited to see more of that alternate world that they kind of built up pretty heavily in the first season.
Yeah.
And it drove the plot of the 2nd and 3rd season. But like you were aware of it and you kind of had to be to understand what was going on, but we never actually entered it.
Yeah, I think
So-
for the story, you had to go in the first time. You established that it was a place, and then the others to build kind of suspense, like they came out and came into our world.
Yeah.
And so it would be cool to kind of go back in.
I'm always super intrigued by alternate universes and alternate timelines as a story device. So I'm excited to see what they do.
So my is maybe spoilery for season 3.
We've all seen it, right?
Well, we have, right?
Yeah.
You have. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but anybody listening, this may be spoilery for season 3, but I just finished it like last week. So, I think at the end, spoilers, okay? Don't get mad at me. I'm telling you.
I like this theory, though.
I think at the end, when the whole thing's about to blow up, they're about to close the fissure in the wall, and it blows up, and then Hopper's gone, and everybody's like, "Oh, he got blown up in the gamma truck train explosion thing, whatever that thing was. I don't know what it was." I think right before it blew up, he jumped into the rift, into the upside down, and then it closed on him. And it's possible that rift was also a connection, like some sort of portal, to a mirror rift in Russia.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
And maybe the Russians were trying to build too, so they had a tunnel into the U.S. through the upside down.
That's how they got all the stuff in the mall.
Right. But I think maybe he jumped in there. Whether that part's true or not, I think he jumped into the upside down to save himself. Like,
Wait.
it's better than blown up.
Wasn't there a post credits in?
Yeah.
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 And it was in Russia.
Yeah. And they said there was an American in the cell.
Right.
They didn't
how
say it
you
was
know.
him.
Oh, I guess I was assuming. Maybe in my mind I was thinking that they showed him, but they didn't.
No, they didn't. They pulled out a Russian, someone who was speaking Russian instead of the American. So I think that's supposed to imply that it's him.
Yeah.
And maybe it is. I thought about him jumping in before I saw the post credits scene. So who
Gotcha.
knows? But I like the idea that he's like now in survival mode in the upside down with nothing, being Hopper. That'd be cool. But who knows? All right, you don't have your prop.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm just building a thing while you're talking.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay. So the prop store auction.
My kid's playing piano upstairs, by the way.
We have items from all of our favorite movies, things we've talked about here on the show. Very iconic things. We've got some Harry Potter. We've got a lot of Star Wars. There's Jurassic Park. There's the actual Holy Hand Grenade. Like, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, even the ones we discussed earlier, I probably couldn't remember
Yeah,
the price range. So.
Okay, good.
If you're bringing them back.
Okay, so
Well,
I'm going to try
you
to...
can use a few of those as examples. Just so,
Yeah. So, I don't remember which ones we talked about. All right, so there's a bunch of lightsabers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5, either screen used or prototype or first cast lightsabers. You want to start there?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you only mentioned one of those earlier.
Yeah, I did. I didn't know that there were more.
Okay, cool.
So I'm going to do some calculation here so we can get some U.S. dollars.
Are we guessing in US
we
dollars
can
or
do it
pounds?
in pounds.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Just
guessing a
guess
pound.
a value of units, of
7
galactic
units.
credits.
okay. Well, then we won't be wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so we
7
have
credits.
Obi-Wan's New Hope lightsaber, the prototype,
Oh man,
and the first aluminum cast.
these are together as a single auction.
No, but they're the same. They sold for the same price. They were not in the same lot.
Oh wow. Okay. I'm gonna go with around 100,000.
Okay. Now remember, this is not screen used.
The-
These are the castings. This is the prototype that the designers made,
Right.
and then the poured aluminum cast for it. It didn't say that it was hero, and it didn't say that it was screen used. So let that affect your pricing.
Okay, I'm gonna stick with 100.
I hope everybody at home is playing along.
Play along,
Hollering
everybody.
at the car in front of them in traffic, what you think. Again, all of these are in pounds. You multiply $1.25, give or take, to this price to get how much you would pay in U.S. money.
I'm answering in pounds, just so you know.
It's fine. Galactic fictitious credit.
I'm gonna say 75,000.
75,000 for Forby.
I'm gonna say 32,000.
32.
Like 32. Oh.
32 units.
1,000 units.
Okay.
What'd you guess?
100,000.
100,000. Okay. 12,300.
Whoa.
What?
Because they are not screen used.
I thought
They
I was
looked-
lowballing.
They
Clue.
looked a little rough. But that's the low point in our lightsaber story
Okay.
here. 12,300
Wow.
pounds.
Why won't this stick?
I mean, I
Which
still wouldn't
is-
spend that, but that's surprisingly low for
My steering wheel keeps falling out, you guys.
something that I mean, I would almost think of prototype stuff as being more
Okay,
valuable.
so that's
than,
15,000 US dollars
Wow.
per item.
That's still pretty crazy, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go from lowest to highest. So where was the other? There's that one. Okay, Darth Maul's double-bladed lightsaber from Attack of the Clones. I don't recall if it was
Attack of the Clones. Who wasn't in Attack?
or not Attack of the Clones. The
Phantom Menace.
Miniminus.
Crappy Menace. Yes.
Episode doo-doo.
Yep.
Now this is pod racing.
It didn't say if it was screen used or hero, but it had it had the long hilt, both of the blades. I'm assuming it wasn't anything to the extent as Obi-Wan's where it was like a prototype. This was a lightsaber. As you would look at it, it looks like a lightsaber
I'm
with
thinking
two red
probably
blades.
maybe 30,000.
Okay. Anthony?
I feel like that's pretty iconic.
Sorry, did you say not screen used?
I don't know.
Oh,
couldn't
okay.
tell. You
All
look at it in the picture, it looks like Darth Maul's lightsaber.
Sure.
To where Obi-Wan's look like a kind of burnt up, chewed up version.
19,000.
Okay. 30, 19.
I'm gonna say 32,000. I think it's high for some reason.
We're gonna play Price is Right rules, and Forby gets this one. It was 36.9.
Closest without going over? Is that what you
Closest
mean?
without going over.
Okay. Cool.
Yep. Next is Mace Windu's lightsaber. Did not have a blade.
$4.
like Darth Maul's. Mace Windu's.
I'm not a fan. We're going up. You were doing these lowest.
We
highs?
are going up.
Okay.
We're gonna go up to where. Yeah.
All right. So I'll say I don't know, 55,000.
49.
42.
$86,100.
Dude, it's purple. Come on.
The blade is purple. It didn't come with a blade. That blade was all digital. Mace Windu's.
Lame.
86,000. I just want to do this real quick. 86.
I mean, like, I know,
$105,000.
good grief.
Wow.
It's a lot of
And
dollars.
he has one.
Yeah. So
He has one that I think he
that's not
stole from set. So it's probably like the same one. Because he's bragged about it. About how he shouldn't have it, but he has it. But he's Samuel
Okay,
Jackson,
that's
so.
Obi-Wan's lightsaber, Darth Maul's lightsaber, Mace Windu's lightsaber. Okay, this is it. We've got Luke's lightsaber from, I believe it was New Hope.
Oh, this is the one you mentioned earlier.
This is the production
So I remember this one, so I'm going to
Star Wars New Hope lightsaber that Luke had. He got from Obi-Wan in the chest, that lightsaber. This was your father's lightsaber.
I remember talking about it, but I don't remember the price. I don't know, 190,000.
That's so much money.
That's a lot of money.
I don't even remember the last one, but it's okay. Because you're saying we're going up? Like
We're going
these
up.
are all going up?
Yeah, just for the lightsabers, we're going up.
$92,000.
Okay.
I remember what it was. So
It is
Oh, good.
$147,600.
One
I'm
hundred-
sorry, pounds.
47?
147,600. That equals $180,000.
My guess was in U.S. dollars.
Everybody.
Oh, man.
I think I was still.
Let
over
that
it.
sink
I can't
in
even
for a
remember what it
second.
imagine being able to drop $180,000 on something that you can't drive or fly.
Or live in.
Or
It doesn't
live
do
in.
anything or fight with.
Like you can't do anything with it.
Except resell it.
Except, yeah, that's true.
Store it.
Wait 5 days, resell it for twice as much.
Man.
Oh my gosh.
We want to
so
keep on
much
Star
money.
Wars for a little bit?
We can jump around.
Okay,
I'm gonna bag.
go for it.
Okay.
We'll do RoboCop's cowl.
Oh. Screen
Cowl?
used?
Screen used.
I didn't
I'm
know.
gonna guess. I'm not exactly sure. Some of these are specifically mentioned as screen used and that they highlighted. So I'm not sure if it was screen used or not. But again, you look at it and you're like, boom, that's RoboCop's cowl, made by the people who made RoboCop.
I know nothing about RoboCop.
He was a cop and he became a robot. That's where the RoboCop.
You mean Inspector Gadget?
Ooh,
Interesting.
be. He's Robo Detective. Come on,
Okay,
he got
sorry.
he got promoted.
Or police officer machine.
That's the
Title.
Dollar General version.
Yeah. There's a shirt that I've wanted to buy a couple times, and it looks like RoboCop, but it says Robert Cop.
I've seen the RoboCop where he has a bag of donuts and he's all fat.
I didn't see that.
All right, RoboCop's cowl.
RoboCop's cowl. I made a mistake here. I'm gonna go with maybe 70,000. I don't know. I'm not sure what how interested are people in RoboCop?
I don't know, and I think that has to go into your guesses, like
Yeah.
the allure of that property.
Yeah.
If there's only so many of them, if they're so iconic. I mean, RoboCop's cowl is pretty iconic, I would imagine, but
Yeah, I
I mean,
guess
it's
so.
it's piece of the whole suit.
16,000.
16?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that was
Low
way-
balling.
Yeah,
32,000.
Thanks,
Yeah.
$14,760.
Dang.
Which, ironically, was also the winning bid for the Rocketeer's jetpack,
Oh man.
which I thought would have went for way more than that.
Yeah, me too. I would
Yeah.
love to have that.
Every time I'm
crazy.
like, this is probably enough examples, and I would click next on the auction. I'm like, ooh, what about that? And I'm like, well, I've got enough, and I'd scroll. I'm like, oh, check that out.
Did it say
Wow.
anything like the details about how they're made or like actually metal, like the jetpack?
I don't
Was
know.
it
I'd
a
have to go
prop
back
or
and look.
in?
It looks like it was actually metal. I wrote, which I think this same sale price was for an original Wonka bar as well.
Wow.
Yeah, they had a golden ticket on there that was less than that. That's where I stopped because I sorted by highest. Okay. Here's one that I know that Bob would want. An original
Okay.
Empire Strikes Back art department reference binder.
Oh, dude.
Yep. For the low price of
Golly. 90,000.
See, what's cool is when I'm looking at the price and you guys say a price, I'm like, that's a deal. This price is a deal then. Like, it's all relative. Like, there's
Yeah.
no amount of money that we could, like, gather together to put in a bid for this. But just because of the disparity between the two, it's like, oh, yeah, that's totally a bargain. What do you think, Anthony? So this is the reference guide. Every
Yeah.
piece of art, every machine, every Empire Strikes Back unique element, this is where that stuff was referenced
I'd
from.
love to look through that book.
$200,000
Gosh.
Forby?
or pounds.
Now I can't
Creds.
tell whether you're saying that the actual price is a deal compared to his first guess or his guess.
I'm
is
good at this. Aren't I?
Yeah. So I was gonna go lower. So I was gonna say 22,000. Did I?
You ready
I
for
don't even
this?
know if I went lower actually. I don't remember what yours was.
I'm hoping that this price is going to make Bob walk out and go try to track down this book. $10,455.
What?
Really?
Whoa.
Well, I'm
Yep.
not going to spend $10,000 on a book, but that's pretty awesome.
But if you did,
Wow.
it would be that.
It would be really cool to see what's all in that. You know?
There's got to be stuff that didn't make it into the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or just details about things that did make it in. That
They were a
you don't
lot of
ever
pencil
see.
drawing. From what I looked, it was a lot of pencil drawings, a lot of like blue line drawings of things.
So it has some examples on the website
Right
about
on.
this? Oh,
Yep.
man. I gotta go check that out.
Hey, Josh, check this out.
What?
It's a hinge.
Hey, look, hinges.
Josh
But
loves
do you think at this point, though, there isn't anything that would be interesting or useful that hasn't already been released in extra art books or extra material?
I don't know.
There absolutely is still stuff that nobody's ever even
The
seen.
picture that I saw on there, it looked like the side of an X-wing, but not really. So, not sure. Let's jump Star Wars and let's go to Marvel stuff.
Right.
Odin's Spear from the Thor franchise.
Seems pretty recent.
Yeah.
Kind of. I'm gonna go kind of low. Maybe 9,000.
Okay.
12,500.
6,000.
$27,500.
Oh boy.
You all have been outbid.
Zoinks.
Yep.
I was closest.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's leather jacket from Terminator 2.
Oh, I
Whoa.
bet that.
That's
man.
tricky.
Yeah.
Um,
This is like straight from a Planet Hollywood display, right?
I'm imagining that when they all went out of business, somebody just ransacked the walls.
I'll take that jacket.
We're going to put this in the moving truck. Thanks, guys.
Gosh, probably I don't know, maybe 40,000. Which boggles my mind to say that somebody would even have that to spend on a leather jacket.
Whatever. I'm gonna go low and say 13.
26,000.
18,000.
Ooh.
Which I'm going to venture that there are existing leather jackets that cost more than $18,000.
That's true.
That's
And
not,
they probably don't smell like Arnold.
Yeah. Stink like movie archives. All right, here's one I know that Bob's going to like too. The disc throwing arm from the original Tron.
cool.
Disc throwing arm.
The little highlight looking thing.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I bet it didn't go
The
for that much.
Scoopy arm from Tron.
I'm gonna say like 15,000.
Okay. Anybody else? 15. I hear 15. Can I hear 15? 15 and a quarter. 15.
I'm gonna
Sorry, go ahead. Finish that. I want to say something else.
I'm gonna do 28,000.
$9,000.
9,000?
Yeah.
$18,450.
So recently, my kids had a fall festival thing at school, and they're like auctioning. They're raising money for the school, you know. So it's like $5 to get in. You play games or whatever, and then there's an auctioneer out there, and he's auctioning off like I don't know stuff and just like random stuff, like seats at a basketball game, or somebody has this, I don't know, whatever, a bunch of random stuff. Have you ever actually listened to an auctioneer?
Yeah, it's really annoying.
It is terribly annoying
Yep.
because they're not saying, of the amount of noise that they're making, they're saying words for about 10% of it.
Yep.
And they have this repetitive noise that they do to fill the gap that builds this anticipation with the people listening. That just it adds this terrible stress.
That's what it's supposed to do.
I know.
Yeah.
It's terrible though. 'Cause they're just like 10.
I hear 10. Anybody beat 10?
Literally
We can look
just
for 10.
making
10. You in the
noises.
back. 10, 10, 10. 5?
And he's
10.
out. He's the only sound with a PA in this parking lot, and it was just it drove me crazy because it just wouldn't go away. Anyway.
All right, let's spend some real money now.
Wait, hold on. One more.
Ooh, real money, huh?
Okay.
Okay.
We'll start to go up the ladder. Let me see. Harry Potter's acceptance letter to Hogwarts.
Ooh.
Wow.
Cool.
I think this is it right here.
Yeah, that might be.
That is
You
it.
got the
Oh,
Lego
look.
for him.
It's
What's
so
your favorite?
small.
About
I'll pay you $20,000.
All right, $20,000 going once.
I'm gonna go high on this. I'm gonna go 85,000.
61,000.
42,000.
28,290.
Man. Not a good
I had a feeling it was lower
You
than
all
I
would have
thought.
won
I
that.
had no idea.
The half-broken Grail tablet from Indiana Jones
Ooh.
and the Last Crusade.
Oh man.
In the movie, there were two. There was the one that was being displayed, and then there was the whole one that was inside the sarcophagus. This is the broken one. As you can see, there is text missing. That part.
Yeah. $64,000. I was way off. I could tell by Josh's face.
22.5.
17,000.
30,750.
What's funny is I have no idea what number I said.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, I'm kind of losing it.
You could buy a new car for that.
Wow.
Marty McFly's like self-adjusting Nikes.
Oh, we did this one earlier. I can't
Yep.
remember.
I don't remember what it was though.
I don't either.
I think it was wrong when I looked at it, and then I finally saw the final sale price.
Um.
And they are ugly.
Yeah.
Yep. And the rubber is starting to kind of go because a lot of these props were made out of foam rubber that deteriorates over
yeah,
time.
yeah.
They had the original Michael Keaton Batman entire suit that hadn't sold yet, but the face part, the cowl that like goes underneath your jaw, was starting to kind of sag and kind of look kind of gross. So,
That's too bad.
and I think these sneakers, like the soles of these sneakers, kind of look that way to me. But they are very iconic.
34,000.
12,000.
I was about to say that. So 12,001.
Oh.
65,000 pounds.
Gosh.
Wait. I feel like I remember it being significantly less than
That's
Oh, I didn't even think
almost
You must have looked it up.
$80,000.
For some shoes you can't wear.
Yep.
So in Silver Springs in Florida, there's a place called Silver Springs, which is a spring. And they filmed a bunch of movies there. It's natural spring. It's really pretty. It looks like a jungle. And they filmed Creature of the Black Lagoon there. And so in this one of the buildings right there, they have the original Creature suit. And it's that same latex rubber stuff that's just completely falling apart. And it's so disgusting. It looks like there was a monster that's decomposed in a case. It's so nasty. And the kids were all like, the kids had never seen the movie. I've never seen the movie, but I've seen photos of the monster. And they were just like, what is that? Like, why is that in a box, in a big glass case in this? It's pretty nasty.
They did have a Jaws replica, like a screen-used Jaws dummy from Jaws of Revenge. And it hadn't sold yet either.
Where would you put that?
Exactly. There were a lot of full size, like one of the Prometheus like little pod things that people were sleeping in that hadn't sold yet either. All right, so we mentioned the Holy Hand Grenade earlier. How much did the Holy Hand Grenade sell for?
Ow.
It looked honestly like a burlap covered sphere that someone had bedazzled with hot glue and fake pearls.
Well, that was the budget for that
Probably
movie.
was.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go like 60,000 because that one has a cult following, so maybe that matters to people more than
9,500.
9,500.
100.
Ooh.
Wow. $1, Bob.
22,000.
$67,650.
Oh, that's higher
I
than I
said
remember.
60 something, didn't
You
I?
said 60, yeah.
Oh, cool. I win.
$82,000. Could buy a Tesla.
Ooh. Let's do it.
Or
the Holy
like
Hand
half
Grenade.
a lightsaber.
Yeah. The new Netflix Daredevil, the entire costume went for 67,000 pounds. So comparatively, you can get a Holy Hand Grenade or you can get an entire screen-used Daredevil costume.
Wow.
We talked about Michael Keaton's OG Batman costume. What about Jack Nicholson's Joker costume?
Oh, wow.
Purple, plaid pants, hat.
Man, you could wear that one too.
Good. You'd be styling.
Looks smooth.
I would like your fanciest table, sir.
Let's see, 45,000. No idea.
62,000.
82,000.
$73,800. Nope, sorry, pounds. My bad, pounds.
Pounds is
Which is $90,000 for an ugly costume that you would not be caught dead in.
I don't know. I mean, if you are the type of person
Well,
that can spend $90,000 on a suit, you might wear a purple
Yeah.
suit with an orange tie
Might do it.
and a big hat. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe not.
Spock's shirt and pants from the original Star Trek TV series went for $61,500. So people must like the Joker more than they like Spock, which I would have thought that was backwards to me. I would have thought that as many Star Trek fans Let's.
Well, but there might be more of those, right? I mean, like this is just one of them. Surely he didn't wear the same one.
Oh, I don't know. That's a good call.
I went to
Very smelly.
the what's the name of that museum?
Sci-fi.
Yeah, it's
Museum of Science
the
Fiction?
EMP. Is that what it's
Oh,
called?
the Experience Music Project. Yeah,
Yeah,
it has the
so-
science fiction.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a science fiction and a fantasy museum inside this EMP museum in Seattle.
Yep.
And when I was there visiting Bill and Britt from Punished Props, they had a Star Trek installation like in place where like Paul Allen and all these other people who had, well, there was a bunch of sci-fi stuff, but they had just put in the Star Trek one. And so they had set pieces from the original show. They had the whole, maybe not the whole, but a lot of the seats and the consoles from the original Enterprise bridge there. Garbage. Absolute, total, like hot glue and cardboard and little plastic gels that look like pieces of like Jolly Rancher. That's what the buttons on these consoles were. It honestly looked like trash.
But on screen, we're
Yeah, but 10
Yeah,
feet
they
away,
look great.
In
you
the
can't see
70s
it.
too. I mean, if it's blinking lights and it looks like
Right.
space,
Yeah.
it'd be pretty forgiving.
They had the original phasers there, which were pieces of not MDF, but whatever the equivalent material was at that point, like hot glued together, spray painted black with like little silver things on the front. Just trash. It was amazing that it lasted at all.
Yeah.
The fact that any of it was there, it was crazy.
But when you have to work on a budget and
Oh, yeah.
work quick, and it's only going to be on screen for a little bit, and
That was like a weekly show tw right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're staring at the unfinished components of an R2D2. So think about how much you're in right now with that R2D2. Think about how much you can buy
Go.
a licensed working R2 unit at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge for $25,000.
Right.
Wow.
This auction had 2 R2 units. They were not D2 units. One was the dark green one that I think we've talked about before,
Oh yeah.
and the one was all silver. So they have an all silver version
Okay.
and the
Oh, I saw
dark
you
green
looking at this on
version
your computer.
sold separately. They went for around the same price.
Okay.
What is that price?
Did it say whether these were like,
I imagine they would be screen used.
but were they like working or
They had lights.
Okay.
I don't know if they were driven, but I know that the lights were on.
I mean, at this point, there's no reason that they wouldn't have been on a remote control. Yeah, I'm gonna say 75,000.
Now, for you at home, again, each one is sold separately. They just happen to go for around the same price.
Okay. 93,000.
122,000.
That's $122,000 on the dot.
Whoa.
I almost kept going like
Okay.
22,000
and 25 cents.
And 6 pence.
Well, he is sitting right next to the book, so
Yeah,
there's a
I
possibility
gotta
that
tilt
he'd
the book
be-
here.
I was not looking.
See some really crappy sketches
Yeah.
from there.
We're an
yeah.
hour in. You want to do a couple more?
Dang,
Yeah,
really?
we only have a couple more. These are all
right.
trip digits right here. We've got the top 3.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
So I will say the top 3,
These
and
are
I want
all-
you to each put them in order from lowest to highest.
Okay, these are all 6 figures.
All 6 and above.
6 and above. Okay.
I mean, they're 6 figures, but like it's more than $100,000.
Okay, gotcha.
So I'm gonna say 3. Why don't you tell me lowest to highest? We have the map painting on the Death Star of all of the Imperial Stormtroopers, like the really nice formation when Darth Vader walks off of the Imperial shuttle with the Emperor. That's one of them. We have the
That would be so awesome over
the,
your
the
couch.
ghost trap from Ghostbusters
Okay.
Ooh.
and a screen-used Stormtrooper helmet from A New Hope. It's the one that is standing immediately to the right of Princess Leia when she meets Darth Vader for the first time. So we've got
That's
map.
amazing that they know that.
Yeah, you can tell by like some of the scuffs near the nose.
Wow.
They've been able to match it. So that one in particular, they're very proud that it was screen used. So that one was noted. So screen used Stormtrooper helmet from New Hope, matte painting of the Death Star, ghost trap from Ghostbusters.
So my order, lowest to highest: Ghost Trap, matte painting, helmet.
Anthony?
I would say helmet. No. Painting, helmet, ghost trap.
Painting, helmets. Ghost Trap. Forby?
Painting Ghost Trap helmet.
Painting helmet. Wait,
Nope.
what?
Painting
Painting.
Ghost Trap.
Ghost Trap helmet. Got it.
Star Wars, Ghostbusters, Star Wars.
Okay.
Ghostbusters sandwich.
So in third place,
Title.
Ghostbusters sandwich. There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that one down.
On a toasted Star Wars.
With sesame seeds. In third place at 159,000 pounds, which is $193,000. The screen used Stormtrooper helmet.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
That was the highest or lowest?
That was the lowest.
Oh my gosh.
We were all wrong.
In second place at 172,000 pounds, which is $209,000. That's almost our house. The matte painting of the Death Star,
Oh my gosh.
which leaves
Oh man.
at a whopping 186,960 pounds in the Ghost Trap from Star Wars, which was the highest.
Star
bid.
Wars?
What? I'm sorry, from Ghostbusters. My bad.
Ghostbusters.
From Ghostbusters, which is a whopping
Ghost Wars. Starbusters.
$228,000
Good
Oh
grief.
my gosh.
as of the time that we are recording on Tuesday the 1st at 4. That was the highest bid item.
So it's not done yet.
I don't think so.
Wow.
Wow.
They had like Han Solo's jacket from Empire. That was on there. They had full-size dinosaur replicas from Jurassic Park.
Oh.
The like 5 foot tall T-Rex head had sold, but it wasn't as much as I thought it was going to be. There's Battlestar Galactica. There's an entire Aliens lot, like huge lot. Xenomorphs, whole xenomorph heads. Like I am thoroughly impressed and kind of bewildered at how they got their hands on all of these crazy iconic things. They must have been collecting this forever.
Yeah. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I think when you're a place like that that's known for this type of thing, people who have those lots, who accumulate them over a lifetime or over, several years or whatever, they'll be like, okay, I'm done with this. Someone else needs to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And they'll bring it to prop store.
Or if they just went out and did like an all call to the people that they know, the
Yeah,
collectors
probably.
they know.
I would imagine.
There was Forrest Gump shoes sold for $24,000. C-3PO's right hand sold for $23,000.
Oh, man.
Duncan MacLeod's Highlander katana with the dragon head on it sold for $18,000. Data's jacket from Goonies also sold for $18,000.
Oh man, did it have the?
It didn't have the belt.
Oh.
It was just a jacket.
Ah.
The chainsaw from Army of Darkness was $9,000. The little baby Ewok puppet,
Oh, yeah.
$22,000.
I bet that looks terrifying.
There was
that's-
more. I guess on Battlestar Galactica, there's some kind of weird bear-looking thing. That was super creepy.
Huh.
Oh, the staff from Jurassic Park with the amber mosquito sold
yeah.
for $52,000.
That'd be pretty cool.
Matt Murdock's glasses from Daredevil's $9,000.
Wow.
Man, just
$9,000 for a pair of glasses.
9,000 pounds.
Pounds, sorry.
It's like $11,000
for a pair of glasses.
for a pair of
That they
red circular
They
glasses.
probably went to like all the Walgreens in town and were like, "Hey, look, there's red ones. Grab those." That's crazy.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Yeah,
That was really cool.
Congratulations to everybody who bought those.
Yeah, really.
Congratulations to everybody that sold those.
See, and it's
That's
in,
the,
Yes, that's true.
it's in England. I wonder if they have to pay the VAT tax on that stuff, which is like 20% tax.
Ooh, yeah, that's true.
Those Joker pants aren't so cool now, are they? Think about
I
that.
don't know if you can spend $200,000 or whatever it was on a pair of pants or on a suit. The extra 20% is probably like, well, I guess I just won't go to Starbucks tomorrow.
I wonder if that person, whenever they have guests over, be like, check it out. These are my Joker britches. Wears them like pajama pants.
Oh,
You are my number one pants.
anyway, well, I hope you guys enjoyed listening to that.
That was fun.
And you guys got anything else you want to talk about? We're over an hour, but you still got sets left to build.
I've got a little bit, but I was busy.
Yeah. Well, okay. We'll go ahead and wrap this one up. If you want to support this show, want to help us bring Forby up here to visit more often, go to. We have the new URL now
Yeah,
for the Maker Alliance,
Yes.
and it is
ilt.ms/join, or I like to make stuff/join.
yeah
I like to make
.com
stuff /. Yeah,
.com/join.
Yes, that's right.
All of those.
Yeah.
Nailed
It'll
it.
all work.
You can join the Maker Alliance. The Maker Alliance are the people that get behind-the-scenes access, get to see videos early, get to get discount codes and pre-release merchandise and all that type of stuff. And they also help support this show, help us buy Legos, help us fly Forby back and forth on occasion, stuff like that. So if you want to do that, go to iliketomakestuff.com/join, and you can do it on Patreon or on YouTube. They're the same thing. They're just different platforms. Up to you. And if not, that's cool too. No big deal. But would be really cool, and I talked about this on Making It the other day. It dawned on me recently that because a lot of times on podcasts you're like, hey, tell your friends if they like this kind of show. Maybe they'll like it. This one, or whatever, we can get some more listeners. If every person who listened to a podcast told one other person to listen to that podcast, in a single week, the listenership, is that a word?
Yep.
Of the show would double.
That math adds up. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's kind of
they
crazy to think
did
about.
it.
You know what I mean? If everybody did that one kind of simple action, hey, friend, you're
And
a blank.
That
listen
doesn't
to
count
blank.
that you just unplug your headphones and just like blare it at people. That doesn't count. That math would not add up.
Tell somebody about it. Tell it what it is, why you like it. Maybe they'll like it too. Or don't. I don't know. I'm not your dad. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Thanks
I
for
will.
listening. And
Do it. Now.
Josh is your dad.
What are you doing right now? You're not doing anything. Go tell people.
It's true. If you have time to listen to a podcast,
Text and drive real quick. Just real
You have
quick
time to
before
tell other
anybody
people.
sees you.
Don't do that.
listen to a podcast. Don't do that. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye. See you.
Bye-bye.